Phoenix, Arizona, round 9 of the championship chase, and it's Hendrick versus Hendrick, the super team. Jeff Gordon, Jimmie Johnson, 30 points apart. Jimmy's on a roll. He's going for another win. He's already won 3 straight. Jeff won 2 before that. Hendrick has won the last 5 races on the tour. They've won more than their share this season. They better enjoy it while they can, because I don't think next season they're going to have quite as good a year. The spoilers today are going to be Clint Bowyer, who's had a pretty good chase. He's got the same car. He ran at Loudon, won at Loudon the first race of the chase. And this is Phoenix, a flat 1-mile track, very similar. I think he could be a champion. He could be a contender. And we've got Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, the last 2 races, Atlanta and Texas, he could easily be going for 3 in a row here. He dominated both those races. A bad pit stop at Atlanta and some problems late in the race at Texas cost him. He could be going for 3 in a row. He could be the spoiler today. And one of the interesting questions is if Rick Hendrick would call on him to move out of the way, for example, if Jimmy's coming up to pass him and needs a couple of points, or Jeff. Will there be some team motors involved? Wouldn't doubt it. It's happened before with that team. One of the big stories here, I think, is Ricky Rudd. It's a quiet story. Ricky Rudd has been in the business since 1975, more than 30 years, a really class act. Hasn't quite had things going his way the last couple of years. The teams he's been with haven't been that strong. And he's down to his last 7 or 8 days. Here at Phoenix, where he won in 1995, and Homestead next week. And then he calls it quits. Or he says he calls it quits. We're not quite sure what he's going to do. He says he doesn't know what he's going to do. But I think NASCAR needs to relook at this entire schedule, the entire 36 races. They say 2008 is set in stone, but 2009 is up for grabs. I think they need to do some changing. I think they need to look at everything, start with a clean sheet of paper, and relook everything. Look at January, which I think is a wasted month. They're talking about testing at California at the end of the month. Well, they tried that 2 years ago, and the winds were so bad, teams couldn't even get down the backstretch. To me, that's just marketing gimmick. Well, it's a good marketing gimmick. They need some help out there in L.A. But I think they need to take advantage of some of the warmer climates we have and use January for a race instead of stretching it all and spending all that time doing worthless testing. And I think they need to look at the chase itself. The 10 races in the chase, maybe it should be 12 races. I don't know how you want to look at that thing. It could start Labor Day, which might make good sense. They need to put in good markets. Las Vegas should be in the chase. Bristol should be in the chase. And I think some of the tracks that are in the chase right now don't need to be in the chase. They can move those things around. NASCAR needs to start with a clean sheet of paper and relook at the whole thing. Sunday morning, Jeff Gordon goes for a second win here at Phoenix. And this track has a reputation for back-to-back wins. Jeff Burton won back-to-back. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won back-to-back. I think Jeff Gordon could win back-to-back. If he finishes first and Jimmie Johnson finishes fourth, which is exactly the way things happened here in April on Saturday night, then the score is tied going into Homestead, the season finale. That's a 30-point spread between first and fourth. That would be pretty nice, going to Homestead with the 2 guys battling it out, tied for the lead. But to me, it's still a little too much vanilla versus vanilla. I think they need a little rougher edge to this whole thing. I think Kyle Busch is going to provide that next year. If Joe Gibbs gets his operation in high gear with Toyota, I think that could be a heck of a battle. Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, those guys know how to roll in the mud. Maybe that's what this championship chase needs. A little more earthiness to it, a little more fire, a little more spice. Right now it's just corporate versus corporate, and it's nice. Those guys are good drivers, Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Gordon, very classy acts and all that sort of stuff, but there's just something missing. And of course we know what that is. It's Dale Earnhardt. That's the story from Phoenix. Thursday evening, on the eve of round 9 of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Championship chase. Mike Mulhern for the Winston-Salem Journal and JournalNow.com.